Starting live. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me when you're about to start it. And when you hear that sound, you know you just enter into the shop. Shop Talk with Gavo, episode Mr. IVStudios. Hello, sir. Happy birthday. What's going on?
I appreciate it, man. Happy to be here. Shop Talk with Gavo.
How does it feel to be in front of the camera? This is the guy that's normally behind any camera, behind just... We'll get there in a second. But okay, give your intro. Let these folks know who you are. Come on, let's go.
Follow me at _100K Dre.
I need more enthusiasm, my brother.
I got you. IVStudios on Instagram, 100K Dre on Instagram. Follow me. Dre Ware.
Okay. And as far as the business, Mr. IVStudios.
Right.
What's going on? Where can they follow that? How can we get in touch?
Like I said, Instagram, IVStudios, and definitely IVStudios.us. Check that out.
Okay. Make sure you don't make no mistakes. So, do you want to just head right into it, or
let's go?
All right. Who is Mr. Dre Ware? Who is Mr. Dre Ware? Today is your 25th birthday. I know this is a crazy question to answer. I asked you yesterday, what's going on? I asked you yesterday what you doing for your birthday, and it hit me like, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? This had to happen. So talk to me. Who is Dre Ware?
Dre Ware, like my boy Gavo would say, I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things.
The Mad Hatter, the official Mr. Jack of all trades.
But at the end of the day, man, I'm here for the people. I'm a man of the people. I'm here to help people with their projects, with what they got going on, their businesses, their visions. I'm here to inspire people. At the end of the day.
Would you describe yourself as a creative? What do you, and tell me, define the word creative. Define the word creative for me.
At the end of the day, I would see myself as a creative. I kind of shy away from that word because sometimes when I think of creative, I think artsy, but at the end of the day, I see myself as
it's art. We artists. I know I'm an artist.
Yeah.
This is my art.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
but I'm a businessman. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I'm project oriented, and I'm here for the people at the end of the day.
All right. So today's your 25th.
Yeah.
20. You said 20 Ys earlier, right?
Yeah,
20 Ys. Okay.
20 Ys, yeah.
So, how does that feel like? What does that mean, 20 Ys? Talk to us.
I feel like now
for the young bulls, that's not, for your young bulls that's not 25 yet.
Right.
I'm about to be 26 in a few months.
It's something about being 25. It's like, dang, 25.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Dang, I'm finna be 30 in 5 years.
Hey.
I'm getting a glimpse of them. Am I a little older now? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
A little.
Right.
Bro, okay.
So, like I said, I'm 25, man. It feels good to be here. It feels good to be in this mind state at 25 years old, not to be in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? And have something going on and being a part of something at the end of the day.
Okay, so I'm happy to see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad the day we, however we connected and linked. So me and Dre, I was familiar with Jay probably from around 2012, 2011. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 2013, around there. We was familiar, but we wasn't, we wasn't partners, but you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell him. I talk about this. I mean, Gavo all the time. I used to always say, I used to see Gavo around, and I used to, some people you just know you're going to link up with them, but you don't know what it's going to be for quite yet. You just know, this dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how you felt about me or whatever. It wasn't nothing, too major at the time, but as time progressed, and I seen what he had going on. I think when I really seen you working, it was on Instagram. I seen one of your skits, and I was like, you know what, this. You're doing something right here. I was just thinking about man, nobody really does nothing like this. and how you tied it in with your show, man, I was like, yo, all right. But it wasn't until
he always told me that part. Appreciate
yeah. It's just something that sticks out with me. But when we linked up, I don't know. I think we might have linked up through a mutual person or a mutual event or something. When we linked up.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think the first time we really linked up, you came through for me during my girlfriend's birthday party, and you had snapped a few pics on one.
That was the first time?
I think, yeah, bro. That had to be, bro. Like legit. That was the first time I ever because I came to your crib after that to get the pics. I never came to your crib before that. And just so happened we neighbors too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we neighbors too.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah. Welcome to the neighborhood. So yeah, that was the first time, bro. And then we just started building from there. So where are you from? How'd you get here? What's going on? You say you from Delaware? Okay, hold on 2 seconds. Okay. I'm just gonna let them know what's going on real quick. Of course, you tuned in to Shop Talk with Gavo, but come on.
You're tuned into D30 Radio, the hottest, trendiest internet radio station.
And you know that, hottest and trendiest. But let's go.
You asked me where I'm from.
Yeah.
All right. So actually, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska.
What?
Yeah.
Bruh, cap.
Yeah. That's where I guess I'm from, but.
Bruh.
You know.
Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. But you think you know people.
Look,
you think you know people.
Look, he thought he knew. But listen, so. I don't think I was there for too long. I think my grandparents was there because my granddad was in the military, and they just ended up being there. And my grandma actually has family in Delaware, so a couple years after I was born, I moved to Delaware, which is up there by Maryland.
Yeah, I spent some time. I lived in Maryland,
Jersey,
from about
DMV
area. I was 3 to 9. I was in Maryland, so I did majority of elementary school up there.
Right. So like up there, it's a little bit more upbeat, kind of, a little bit more street. But I came. Okay, so I was in Delaware from about the 8th grade, and I actually came to. My grandma moved to Georgia from Alaska just randomly. And she moved to Atlanta. She moved to Ackworth, actually, which is around Atlanta. And my mom just felt the opportunity, okay, let's leave Delaware. Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We had some other family. My mom's dad's family is from Georgia, from Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
So my mom used to come to Georgia anyway every summer when she was a kid.
Oh, that's crazy.
When my grandma moved from Alaska to Georgia, it just all tied in like Georgia. Going straight there.
Okay.
And I'm in the 8th grade. This is when Atlanta is starting to take off.
Towns is different.
I think that summer I started getting dreads. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then.
No, you definitely was. I wasn't gonna call you out on it.
Look.
I wasn't gonna call you out on it.
Okay, I was like, okay, I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to Atlanta. Oh, I gotta get my, I gotta get my image.
So you've been in the States for how long? I mean,
I've been in Georgia since 08.
08, okay.
So yeah.
How long you been moving around out here? But I mean, you definitely mobile. You here, there, everywhere. But
in Columbus.
Yeah,
okay,
Columbus.
Okay. So I moved to Atlanta that summer of 08, and then my great grandma on my mom's side, she was getting older and she was getting real sick and she was about to pass. So we came down here we used to go from Atlanta to Columbus every week to come see her.
Right.
And then my mom ended up being like, I like Columbus. This, we could just stay in Columbus, And it didn't matter to me.
Right.
When I came to Columbus, I seen more black people, so I was like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, definitely.
In Delaware, it's black people too. But
it was just more black people in Georgia. Period. I was in my elementary school in Maryland. I was like one of the only black kids in the school.
Right.
There was a few of us. It wasn't too many. It was a handful of us, but I was one of them.
Some black folks where I was at. I was out in the country in Delaware, but in the inner city Delaware, or any city Dover, it's black folks, of course. But so anyways, so that summer 08 summer going into that school year, like I said, we moved to Columbus. We moved to my great granddad's house.
Right.
and I started going to Hardaway High School.
Okay, Hardaway. I done mentored there a few different times. A few different
Hardaway High School, man.
I done ate y'all fried chicken, Hardaway. Hey, I done seen the look. All right, let's talk about it. I done seen the little argument on Facebook about who got the best fried chicken. Only fried chicken I ate in.
Shout out to Miss Edwards.
Only fried chicken I have ate in Columbus as far as high school was is Hardaway, and I mean, they fed us.
There's a lot of controversy on chicken in high school.
Yeah.
Hardaway is definitely in the top 5 for sure.
Okay, I think it's just down here. Everybody got a chicken dick.
Right.
But all right, so you've been moving around out here for some time.
Oh wait,
like so, at this point, let's discuss IVStudios. Okay. What your services are, how you got into that.
Okay.
All right.
Let's start from the top. Okay. IVStudios wasn't always IVStudios. It used to be. I kind of variated with what I wanted to do through time. It didn't just. IVStudios didn't just pop. It took time and layers into what it is, but it all really started out with. I was in the clothing and fashion and all that. Stuff like that, kind of, sort of.
As far as like being, I can say a hype beast, but like as far as it
something like I'll tell you what it was. I was into like buying like. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what it actually was.
Okay.
I was into like selling vintage clothes initially, and me and my partner EJ originally, we had started collecting a lot of vintage clothing and infinite vintage. I came at it with the idea one day.
I'm familiar with it.
I think I was probably at my mom's house. It was these websites that I used to see that were kind of doing this type of thing. So I was like, okay, we can get this kind of merchandise from these kind of thrift stores,
right?
And blah 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 blah. And
I'm telling, and then you using you going into the community. These are resources. You know what I'm saying? You're not going nowhere crazy. You going to the okay. Go ahead.
That was my niche.
For those, I need y'all taking notes.
Right. I wanted to get into. It was this website called F as in Frank. That's what really like sparked my vintage clothing like thing. That's how I really started. And I was like, where can I get these type of pieces? And I used to go find different thrift pieces at the thrift, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that originally. So
a few of my ties, I find them.
Right. So there's an infinite amount of thrift. So infinite vintage was my thing at the time. Right?
Okay. So you've been real deep, huh?
Yeah. So that's what it was at that point in time. I carried that on for a little while here, dibbled and dabbed in it, and then later on, maybe about 2014, 2015, I started getting into like making my own merchandise. I wanted to, have my own stuff.
So like merchandise, what do you mean by merchandise? Just apparel? We talking about?
Yeah, apparel. I guess we can go to that point. Yeah, because at this point, it's still about clothes, because I want to do other stuff, but clothes, I had won best dress in high school, so clothes was kind of
best dress in high school.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I had some haters now.
Okay. Of course.
It didn't matter to me.
Of course, I know the ones that was hating on you had the freshest LRG fits. But that was the different time. I mean, I used to ride the LRG, but come on now, bro. You wasn't winning that with best dress.
Yeah, I was a little different, but
wasn't winning that with
it all okay. So clothing, kind of. This is what I'm finding what my niche is. I'm trying to find out what my niche is. I'm like, okay, clothes. Okay, I like being fly, whatever, blah, blah.
Okay, real fly jiggy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Whatever.
Diddy bopping, huh?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So. I guess 2015, something like that. I'm starting to want to make my own stuff, so I'm online. I'm looking up like patches.
Okay.
And this is where my boy D got involved with me. So I used to be at his house. Like yo, we get this patch. I put on these type of hats, and he like run it. Let's get it. What you like run it? So I used to be at my boy D crib over in Quail Ridge. Like hey, I'm about to order these. We about to get into the lab. I'm about to take these patches, put them on these hats. Okay, that's when that kind of took off. So I started doing that. Okay, and then it transitioned into me retailing vendor clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I would take vendors online that I would find and put their merchandise on my website and resell that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it kept on developing. You know, with the more I learned how to do this,
and then you really, that's what I'm saying. As far as the Mad Hatter, Jack of all trades, that's you on like 4 or 5 different scopes in the same in the same realm.
But it all came through wanting to pursue my brand, which originally was the clothing, the merchandise, having an online website. That's what it turned into, e-commerce. Then I started getting into drop shipping and stuff like that. I learned how to build websites. I learned how to run ads. I learned how to take pictures of my merchandise and stuff like that. So every time I learned a resource or a skill, I offer that as a service. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it turned into. All the knowledge that I was gaining, I turned into a service.
Right.
So then it turned into, me and my boy D, we ended up getting a loft. And the loft really helped out with gaining my creative space.
There's a loft culture over here.
Right,
and with the creative space, what do you, you've coined the word activate, you've coined the word lab, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you describe these things to you?
Well, let me get back to the part where about getting my creative space. Me and my boy D had got a loft, and the loft is real open. It's a lot of space. So from transitioning from a little apartment where we ironing on patches and stuff like that, I'm in the loft now. I'm ordering a heat press. I'm ordering stuff to where it's like it look like a sweatshop in there.
Yeah.
It looks like a lab, like a laboratory.
Right.
We coined the term lab boys. You know what I'm saying? Activate, because you got to just press that button and activate.
Shout out to the lab boys.
Yeah, when you in that lab, you activate, you on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that all kind of came from, man. For the people who done been through the lab and know what activate mean, they know. Hey,
that word is you can put that on. It's really on steroids.
Yeah.
Put that 50 million times.
Right.
So as far as like services, you're providing the apparel with merchandise. You got. We haven't discussed visuals yet.
Right.
Graphics yet.
Okay, let's get in there. Let me tell you how that developed.
So for those who need to know, right? This said okay, IVStudios. What's that? What you do? Go ahead, talk to me.
Okay, so like I said, I had the creative space and I had infinite vintage still. So it turned into me working on my website. I had to basically get all the resources it took to run a business, an e-commerce business. So when it comes down to getting my own equipment for the heat press, my own equipment for the vinyl to press on the merchandise, it started to be a studio. You know what I'm saying? A studio of equipment. So IVStudios turned it, from Infinite Vintage to IVStudios, because now you can come and get anything that I do for myself, you can get it done for yourself. So that came down to photography for your merchandise or for your models, videography for whatever you got going on your project, your events, event space period. When I got people who just come and just use the studio.
So what are some of the brands you've worked with? What's some of the stuff like this? For those who need to know your history, if they say they want to put your resume right now, let's hear it. You know what I'm saying? Talk, because they see a lot of people, especially in this area, are breaking bread with the people who you. You know what I'm saying? Who you did that work for?
Yeah,
you know.
It makes me so happy because I see a flow of money. You know what I'm saying? I see people generating money on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm assisting people be entrepreneurs with whatever they got going on. So you asked me what kind of brands or who have I worked with. Shout out with Gavo, you know what I'm saying? Probably, he's in my top 5 clients. He's in my top 5 clients for sure, I'm
just happy to be here. Yes, the sign.
Marketing material.
Shout out to IVStudios. Hopefully we going you know what I'm saying?
Not nothing, my boy DJ 200. Shout out to my boy.
200 stay on the road.
Scammer gear.
Towards Jacoby. Okay, Smokey Bear.
Yeah, shout out my boy Smoke.
Okay, start it over. Start for let them. Because we just ran through that. We just ran through
it. Because it's a lot. Hey.
See, the thing with you is that's the part of the reason why I wanted